Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. I just happened to see Kalento and 307th had just started a game, so I thought I'd pop in here and watch them, and I don't know, I don't think I'm actually going to record today another game like for this same episode, but maybe I'll splice it together with a game I play later. I don't know, depends how long the game goes. So anyway, fair warning, I don't know whether this is going to be the whole episode or whether we'll have a game after this. So anyway, but I thought it would be a nice treat to watch these two very strong players play each other and have a little talk about it. What's going on in this base plus 10 set? There's some stuff pulling you in a lot of directions, right? Like there's pretty fast stuff with Blood Rager and Electivore to kind of deny the value that you might get from Xeno. However, the presence of Zatron is pretty exciting, I think. Like it makes the Blood Ragers like relatively innocuous, and it's a big defender that you could like alternate with your Xeno, perhaps. I guess if you try to go too slow, you can get Amperilla'd. But like, man, 2 Tarsiers into a Gaussite or a Vor, and then a Rager? That's so good. Yeah, I think like red is how you have to start here. I don't think you can go that big. There's just too much damage ramp. That's what I would try anyway. No, Kalento, don't pass the turn. Yeah, there you go. The natural conduit from 307th seems, I don't know, it's not what I would have done. I would have preferred just a Fastimus. It's not to say that it's wrong, I'm just not sure exactly where it's going. Because it's not a third Engie, which you would kind of want if you were going to go Xeno and Zatron. So I guess it's just like you're gonna get a Tantalum or two someday, and you might as well spend these $4 on a conduit instead of on nothing. But I would rather have gotten started on the red stuff, because it seems pretty good. You threaten Ragers or Amperilla, depending on how greedy your opponent is. I guess you've already seen an opponent isn't getting third engineer, so you know they won't be too greedy. But I feel like Rager in combination with 2 different choices of fast attacker to make up your third attack is like really compelling. And so that's what would make me want to head in that direction. Everyone agrees, though, that slow green is the way to go, huh? Not sure why. Like, I guess Valk is a threat that red might have trouble dealing with. And so you want to have green available for that? Let me get my mouse cursor out of the way. There you go. Pixie is like also pretty cool because it gives you an excuse to get like more Blast Forges than you need. So you could like grab 1 Xeno and then not have to keep buying Xenos. Or even just get 1 wall if you wanted to do like an Amperilla kind of thing. 1 wall and then Pixies. Although usually with Amperilla you're pretty happy to buy walls forever. So maybe that's less of a thing. Everyone wants blue-green. Yeah, Xenos. Well, I guess Kalento would be doing something different if 307 had opened Fastimus like I wanted, right? You wouldn't be trying to get this Xeno. Well, maybe you would, because there would be no point in buying a wall on the turn that the 3 attack is arriving. So you just like on this turn. Yeah, I don't know. Well, certainly you would be doing something different because you don't want the 3 attack to threaten to breach a drone, but I don't know exactly what you would be doing different. Everyone seems to think this is like a Xeno set. I don't totally understand why that is. I guess it's not the case that they think this is definitely a Xeno set, but rather, like if they did, they would have gone 3rd Engineer. And so I guess there's something else that's... Kalento, for example, has taken a line that is not what you would like to do if you were certain you were getting Xeno. You would go slower. And so that tells me that he was trying to buy insurance against 307th doing something different than this, right? This is a bad line. Like, if you could predict with 100% accuracy what your opponent was going to do, or you could, I'm just saying, like, this is not the line you would choose to get Xenos. And so the fact that he took this line means he was worried about something else. And that something else didn't happen. He prevented that something else by going slower, right? Bought insurance in a way. I assume that something else was some sort of aggression, but I don't totally know what aggression. Because the aggression I expected would be thrilled to have a Xeno arrive just now and, like, build a Blood Rager against it, wouldn't it? I think so. So I guess... Uh-oh, watch your clock, help! Okay, we made it. He really wanted that 1 attack. Alright. So I guess, like, both players... Ooh, this is a good Rager. I like this. Both players have sort of agreed it'll be a slowish game. Right? Oh, I bet Clinto's buying 2 Pixies next turn with his blue, right? Yeah, both players are... Well, maybe I was wrong about it being a slowish game. The Ragers are really going to accelerate things. You really want to float your red? I would rather just spend the blue on Pixies instead of a Xeno and actually spend the red. Especially since the Xeno gets you to 7 attack, which, like... is not that amazing. I don't know. Maybe trying to get to 6 and then double Rager is just a pipe dream, but doesn't it sound so cool? Yeah, something like this, right? Is how I imagined it would go. Wait, where's the Rager? There it is. Whew. It looked like an Animus. They're kind of the same shape, aren't they? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 307's going to try to double Rager, and with Pixies and Force Fields, I think he can probably do it. And I think that Kalento could have tried it by cutting this Xeno for 2 Pixies and getting, like, a Tarsier or something. You still can double Rager, it's just, like, not that great. And you'll have blue left over, right? Like, didn't this Xeno kind of suck? Wouldn't you rather have some Pixies instead? I think so. Some Pixies and, like, an incoming Tarsier. Alright, so both players are done Blood Ragering now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no more Blood Ragers this game. But it is really going to accelerate very quickly now. Kalento does have a nice advantage, which is a ton of soak in Xenos, but it's not really soak you want to lose. And all of these little trinkets like Pixies and Gauss charges are putting pressure on that immediately, right? Kalento has some soak, but 307th has some save it up damage, and these Xenos are gonna, we're gonna lose one immediately this turn, right? And then at the end of the day, it looks like 307th just has more attack. Not that much more, actually. Right, they both have 3 Ragers, 1 Tarsier. Electrovore cancels with Splitter. Vor almost cancels with Tantalum Ray. And, like, we have 1 extra Xeno after all the Pixies have been popped. So maybe it is sort of like they're still leapfrogging each other. I don't think either player is ahead exactly. The extra tempo from these Xenos is pretty cool. Both players are floating 1 green, so that's not an avenue for being ahead. I mean, Kalento's Vors are not quite guaranteed attackers, but usually it's like kind of not an unreasonable burden to keep 2 NGs alive. It's kind of something you want to do anyway, and so that's fine. But it does slightly constrain the options that he'll have available compared to, say, having a Tantalum Ray and a Splitter. Right, that's a way in which Kalento is disadvantaged, is his 2 midline attackers have no obligations attached to them. As we saw there, like, you would like to build 2 walls, except then you have to lose the 2 NGs, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, click the Pixie. Doesn't hurt. No, doesn't matter either way, really. But I mean, it kills an engineer, so I would have. I guess Kalento's advantage is that he is buying non-prompt soak. Well, force field. But like, instead of slamming down walls, he's able to get like Xeno and a bunch of NGs. Is that a lot better? Not really. But it means he... I don't know. What does it mean? It's a mystery. Actually, this is sort of interesting, isn't it? 307th is stable against 11 attack, as far as I can see. Right? He builds 2 walls and a force field, and that's 7. 10 is a drone. And that all exactly canceled out the damage, and he was gaining money. So Kalento is Kalento stable? Xeno and 3 NGs. He could be stable if he wanted, but I think like you don't want to be stable here. You need to be adding attack because your opponent is stable. Although like wall supplies are going to be an issue eventually. Sneaking in this Tarsier is pretty cool. Yeah, interesting. Huh. I mean, it looked to me like Kalento was ahead. I think? Did it look that way? So let's go back and reanalyze like whether 307th is in fact stable. Like he has against 11 damage, which is what Kalento's doing every turn. He can build 2 walls as 10, 11. So first of all, 2 walls in a force field defends, right? 6, 9, 11. Yes. So 2 walls in a force field and a drone costs 10, 11, 14. So that's exactly all of 307's income to be stable, to not add anything and not lose anything, except his wall supplies, right? And he's doing 10 damage a turn while that happens. What's happening to Kalento with 10 damage a turn? We lose a Xeno and 3 NGs. Can we build a Xeno and 3 NGs every turn? Easily, right? It's only $9. We have 3 left, which we can like save up or buy a drone with, or if we've already saved some up, we can add a Tarsier. And that is what's going to make 307th crumble. All right, 307th can't add any more pressure. Kalento can survive as long as he wants. Much longer than the wall supply is going to last. And while he's surviving, he also has $3 per turn to play around with, which he can turn into another attacker someday, as he did here with this Tarsier, right? If we look at the previous turn, I imagine, yeah, he got 3 NGs and floated $1. This turn, he got just 2 NGs, which means like he's not actually defended next turn. He's going to have to force field. He can't force field. That's illegal because he's buying a Xeno, presumably. Maybe he'll do something a little different with like walls instead of Xenos or something. But importantly, this Tarsier adds the 1 damage that he needs to break 307's cycle. I feel like it might have been a little bit too soon, personally. I would have preferred to, like... Right now, the players are both in a cycle where they can just defend the enemy's attack. But 307's cycle doesn't net him anything. He doesn't gain $1 or anything like that. Whereas Kalento's cycle is netting him $3 a turn. Wait, $1? I counted wrong how much it costs to build Xeno 3 NGs. Xeno 3 NGs is $11. So he's only gaining $1 per turn. But it's $1, right? So as long as he has engineer supply, which it seems like he does for quite a while, he can afford to wait as long as he wants. And, you know, 307's wall supply is going to run out first, isn't it? Well, he can last for 3.5 turns. At 3 NGs, we could last 4 turns. Yeah, and we can always switch from NGs to like NGs and Xenos to like walls or something. So, I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is like, instead of this Tarsier, I might have tried just another turn of a 3rd engineer, and then float the $2. Next turn, you can like get a drone with your floated $3 or something. Or you could wait 1 more turn. That's probably better, is float 3. And then next turn, you're floating 4, and you can spend that on a Tarsier, while still building 3 engineers per turn. I think that this is also almost certainly winning, although it's a little bit more difficult to analyze it, right? Compared to like saying, oh, if I just dedicate 11 of my dollars, I'm stable forever. My supplies will last longer than his. So why upset the apple cart by like trying to seal the win any faster than I have to? You could try building a drone instead, but like, I don't know. I think the game is sort of going to be decided before that drone pays for itself. And so it's really just like a needless extravagance. I guess the other thing is, if you're building 3 engineers per turn, then you could support 3 Vors instead of 2 Vors and a Tarsier, right? So if you waited 2 turns, you could get a Vor instead of a Tarsier. But, like, isn't that dumb and bad? That's like buying a build time 3 Tarsier instead of build time 2, so I guess the Tarsier is better than that plan. It's just that this plan means that very soon we'll have to force field or something, or stop building Xeno NG. Which... there's almost certainly something you can do that, like, you know, scrambles to get the defense you need. I just don't see a reason to play so aggressively when the slower line clearly wins. But, you know, Kalento was doing different analysis. He probably had a plan in mind that works. And 307, you know, also realized he was never getting anywhere, and it looks like his opponent is getting somewhere. So he gave up. And we never got to see Kalento's plan. Oh well. Anyway, so I think that is going to be it for this episode. I'm not going to stitch this together with another game. I just thought I saw an interesting game happening live, and I thought I would show you guys how that goes. No other games I'm particularly keen to hop into at the moment. So that's it for today. Just watching someone else's live game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.